12 News at 10 with Mark Curtis and Caribe Divine starts now.
And we begin tonight with a 12 News weather impact alert as our storm tracker is out across the valley. This is a live look from our 12 News weather tracker in the East Valley. This is around the US 60 headed westbound near Sossaman and Power Road south near the Mesa Gilbert area.
And let's give you another view of the monsoon storms, this time hitting the US 60 near Ellsworth in Mesa. If you're out there driving tonight, you'll definitely find some slick roads, so be careful. And look at this, our cameras were on the scene shortly after strong winds overturned a motorhome in Buckeye. This happened about 6:30 this evening near 331st Avenue in Dobbins. MCSO tells us the two people inside managed to get out without any injuries.
Meanwhile, storms across Pima County tonight. Take a look at this ADOT camera in Tucson. Some very wet roads there for drivers tonight near Orange Grove Road and the I-10 as those passing storms move south. But we have seen videos of some heavy flooding, cars even being stuck in some areas, and some rescues as well.
And you can see some lightning in that shot, too. Meanwhile, in Munns Park, just south of Flagstaff, one of our 12 News weather watchers, Pam, sent us this video of heavy downpours and some thunder. You can see some winds coming along with the storm. Very active monsoon over the past 24 hours.
That's right. Meteorologist Lindsay Riley is here now to tell us what we can expect during the overnight hours. Lindsay?
Yeah, well, we had a brand new round of thunderstorms fire up on some outflow boundaries beginning around Queen Creek, and they extended northward toward Gilbert and Mesa this evening. This is what's left, and actually in the last 15 minutes or so, near the downtown area, central Phoenix, some non-severe showers have fired up. This was a lot worse about 1 hour ago. So we're done with the severe thunderstorm warning for the Gilbert area, Apache Junction down through Queen Creek. Just left with some light to moderate rain at this point. But we're still tracking additional outflow boundaries crossing the metro area. In fact, it just is clearing Peoria. And along that, we're seeing brand new storms fire up and pretty much up and down the 51 right now. We're seeing light to moderate rain. Further south toward Ahwatukee, we're seeing heavier thunderstorms there and around South Mountain. So very active setup across the metro area. And this is going to continue till about 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning. So we have a few more hours to go. Pretty much all of Pinal County right now seeing a lot of showers and thunderstorms, all of which currently falling below severe limits. Further to the north, even up toward Camp Verde and the I-17, we're still seeing some showers there. Flagstaff as well. We have additional rain chances yet again tomorrow. That would be 3 for 3 here in the valley. Here's our hour-by-hour look, and you can see by 2 a.m. things are going to begin to clear up by that point. We do wake up to a sunny day tomorrow, but then we're talking late day shower and thunderstorm chances yet again, although tomorrow the severe weather threat looks to be a little bit lower. The driest part of the state tomorrow will be western Arizona. Storms will fire up first in the high country and move down toward Phoenix late in the day. Mark?
Okay, Linz, thanks. It's been 24 hours now since a microburst slammed West Phoenix, causing a massive warehouse to partially collapse, trapping a worker inside. Rescue efforts continue at this hour to try to find that man. His family tells us that he's just 22 years old and a brand new father.
Yes, 12 News journalist Chase Golightly is out there right now near 43rd Avenue in Van Buren. And Chase, you just spoke with fire officials. Are they any closer to locating him?
Caribbean Mark, unfortunately not, but they did tell us they are making progress. You can see the partial collapses over here, but what I want to point your attention to is in the parking lot here right next to us. They have brought in this massive crane to try to pull back parts of the building, but some of the challenges that they're running into specifically right now are the strong wind gusts happening right here. Fire crews telling us if these winds pick up, if rain comes in, if a storm comes here and is right on top of us, they will have to temporarily pull back rescue operations until the storm ceases. But at the same time, they know that the time is not working in their favor, but they're still doing all they can to try to rescue this worker. Somewhere in the rubble, a man trapped for more than a day.
We are being optimistic and we are in a rescue operation.
Phoenix Fire Captain Todd Keller telling us on Thursday, rescue dogs pointed to a location in the debris where they believe that person is. but can't say for certain.
We drilled holes into these void spaces through the concrete and we put our search cams in there. We didn't have any sounds or any visuals of him.
The warehouse is still unstable and can completely collapse at any time. How dangerous is it right now with that possibility?
It's extremely dangerous. We are really cognizant of what we do. We are worried about secondary collapses. That's why we have our structural engineers in here. So every time we do pull something back, we can assess the situation.
But even with the uncertainty, crews are still pressing forward, bringing in cranes to remove the debris. The problem, Keller says, is there are more than 20 slabs in their way, each one weighing more than 100,000 pounds.
These cranes can't pull one at a time, so we are going to have to cut them, or we may have to quarter them. It's just too much for one of these cranes. So as soon as we start delayering this building, we'll be able to see what's underneath those concrete slabs.
Which will take time to complete.
And we're not going to leave until we find this individual.
As that worker's family watches nearby, hoping that by the end of all of this, they will see their loved one again. And there are currently dozens of firefighters and rescue crews currently out here right now. Captain Todd Keller telling us that they are actually starting 12-hour shifts to remove that remaining debris and those slabs and to try to find this worker. And again, when I asked Captain Keller just what kind of time frame are we talking about here, he says he really doesn't know, that they're hoping that once they start removing those slabs, hopefully they will find that worker. But like we told and like we heard, is that there are more than 20 in their way. Of course, we'll keep you updated as we learn more. For now, we're live in West Phoenix. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Yeah, we're hoping for the best for that new father and his family. So hopefully we'll get some good news coming in fairly soon. I know the weather is starting to pick up, and that could affect some of those rescue efforts. All right, Chase, thank you so much for that update. Well, more than 24 hours after severe storms blew through the valley, causing massive power outages, some folks are preparing to spend yet another night in the dark there as APS crews spend the day trying to get power restored.
No power means no air conditioning in this heat. 12 News journalist Jonathan McCall continues our live weather coverage with how folks all across the valley are dealing with this heat and the lack of power. Jonathan.
It has definitely not been a good day for a lot of folks. Mark Caribe, good evening. More than 4,000 power outages still being reported by APS tonight, some as far as north as Wickenburg, further south of Casa Grande tonight. APS crews busy trying to get the lights back on. Where we're at right now, we're just east of 40th Avenue and Buckeye, an area hard hit. And just the last hour or so, we started seeing some of the lights come back on for folks in this area who have been in the dark. As you can see, crews have been working around the clock to get those lights back on. Mother Nature's fury on full display Wednesday night as powerful storms packing hurricane wind speeds swept through the valley, leaving behind a trail of damage and destruction, along with thousands in the dark. Thursday, 12 News crisscrossing the valley to see how folks left powerless from the storms braved the heat. At 31st Avenue and Cactus, what have the last 24 hours been like for you and your family?
I wish my wife was here. She would tell you.
We met Sam Bachicha, who says he considered buying a generator this morning after he and his family sweltered in the heat overnight.
We were out here till like 2 or 3 in the morning, and right here in the front.
Just to keep cool.
Just to keep cool, yeah.
In the back of his home, APS crews hard at work replacing poles and lines that snapped from the storm's intense winds. Meanwhile, just a few miles north, near 40th Avenue and Bell, APS crews also working to restore power in this area. This had some folks concerned. But something else you may notice also in the back of them as they're trying to work, the winds are starting to pick up. Some here worried that another round of storms could force crews to stop or even cause more damage. One of the hardest hit areas we found near 40th Avenue in Buckeye. The intersection now closed to traffic headed west. The reason why? Take a look. Several power poles uprooted from the ground. 12 News cameras even capturing a transformer sitting in the road. Nearby homes still in the dark, waiting to finally see the light. Alex Cruz is one of them. What's it like inside of the house right now?
It's humid. That's all it is. It's humid.
He and his family tell me they've been using swamp coolers and misters inside to try to keep cool. But even with a generator, he says it's not enough.
I could handle it. I'll stay. I don't mind. We have dealt with it before with no light and stuff. But It's her and the kids. So whenever they're ready to go, we'll leave.
A short time later, they finally did. The thought of spending another night in the dark and in the heat, too much for the family. Speaking of generators, remember Sam? Well, he nearly bought one today. He says it'll definitely be on his list the next time another storm comes.
So where we're at right now, again, just east of Buckeye and 40th Avenue, it really does appear that the lights have started to come back on for folks in this area. We've seen the crews start to pack up. They say they're actually going to move to another area in the same area, another spot in the same area where the power still remains off. Again, for folks in this area, their concern is another storm. Again, we're starting to see the wind pick up again, as well as some showers starting to fall. They're concerned that if that happens, that all of the progress made in the last 24 hours could be for naught. APS says they will have crews on standby as this new round of storms continue to move in. We're live tonight in Phoenix. Jonathan McCall, 12 News.
All right, Jonathan. Those residents seem to have a pretty positive attitude, though, in the meantime. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, tonight, investigators are trying to figure out what caused a barn fire on the Gila River community just east of Sun Lakes. We brought you this story as breaking news earlier today on 12 News at 1. Gila River officials telling us that it started around noon near Riggs and Old Price Road inside of a barn that was full of hay. Fire crews say that no one was hurt in the fire and that none of the other nearby structures were threatened. But crews say that this fire is expected to burn for several days. Officials say that Riggs Road between I-10 and Old Price Road will be closed overnight as crews monitor the fire.